Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing okay. I'm sorry, I'm not that sorry really that I didn't talk to you last week because I didn't have anything interesting to say. This week, however, I have a little bit of interesting stuff to tell. The first of which is that I sang at a weekend this past... No, let's do that again. I sang at a wedding this past weekend, there we go. And it was my mom's boss's wedding, which was at a church whose name I only know in German, which is Neue Apostolische Kirche, which I really don't usually have a lot to do with churches, and I'm not really a fan. And but this church was nice, and yeah, I could understand some of the stuff they were saying, and some of it made sense to me. It was very personable, but I'm still not into the whole dyslexic dog thing. So yeah. Yes, so we sang as a trio plus piano at that wedding, and we did one of the pieces was one that my mom had written for my aunt who got married a couple of years ago, whom some of you have met. And so that was nice, and we were a really big hit, and people came to us afterwards and were like, oh my god, can we book you somehow? So that was cute. What happened then was that the bride threw her bouquet and I caught it. Now, I'm not sure whether this is the case in all your cultures, whether the bride even throws a bouquet, but here, if the bride throws a bouquet and you catch it, it means you're the next to get married. So, yeah. I've heard conflicting theories though. I mean, some people say you have to get married within the next year, which, thinking about it objectively, or actually not very objectively, is not too likely for me to get married within the next year. However, a lot of people just think that it means you're the next to get married, so even if I wait 10 years, nobody who was at that party can get married before I do because I caught the bouquet. It's just very interesting. So, yeah, that tickled me. I thought that was very funny. I was so embarrassed. I got really red, and everybody was like looking at me and applauding. I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And my mom was like, she was standing right next to me. It was funny. And then on the way back, we were in the car, and I was sitting in the front, my mom was driving, and suddenly I see this spider crawling along there, and it was huge, you know, everything's relative, but it was this big, and it had legs, and I hate spiders. Yes, HK can attest to that, because I always make her come and save me when there are spiders in my room at Bryn Mawr. So, there was a huge spider crawling in the car, and it crawled all the way across and then down and then toward me on the dashboard, and I started screaming, like legit screaming. You've probably never heard me scream like that unless you're HK. And freaking out, and I was like scrambling back in my seat trying to get away from the spider. Luckily there was a rest stop in 400 meters, so we drove out that exit, and then I dashed out of the car with my bare feet because I couldn't take the time to put on my shoes because the spider might attack me. I'm not exaggerating, I'm really scared of them. And I got in the back of the car, and my mom was like, well, how should I get the spider out? We don't have tissues or anything. So she used my bouquet. It still means I'll get married, right? So she took the bouquet, took the spider on the bouquet, and threw it out the door into some grass or something. I stayed in the back for the rest of the trip, but like 5 minutes after we had left the rest stop, my mom was like, there's another one here. And yeah, lo and behold, there was another spider of exactly the same caliber crawling down the left side of the car. Being like, yeah, where did you hide my boyfriend? So we were like, nah, what do? We don't have a second bouquet. But the spider like hid in the front, so, and I was sitting way in the back, so it was okay. I mean, okay, everything's relative, you know. It was still freaky, but I survived it, and we got home, and I refuse ever again to ride in that car, which is okay because it's a friend's car, so I don't really have to ride in it that often. Yeah. Finally, the last story I have to tell you is that today on Monday, my mom and I went out to a shoe store just for fun, and because we had seen these cute shoes that are kind of like, I don't know, to me they're really French, but they're kind of like men's tailored shoes, except for women. And we had seen some of those for €19.99 or something, which is really cheap for shoes. And so we just wanted to try them on and see whether we wanted to buy them because they're cute. And we ended up coming out of the store with 5 pairs of shoes for €150. Yeah, so I have all kinds of shoes now and all kinds of new clothes, and I'm ready to go party in Korea. Yes, I do have some high heels in case anybody was wondering, and they're really comfortable so that I can actually like run around in them and at least try to pretend that I've been running around in high heels my whole life the way the Koreans have. So, that's it for today. I hope you guys are doing well. I look forward to hearing from you. And peace out. Bye-bye!